Dancing Girls. This is my 16th Nik tutorial. I've done the no frills acoustic version of this song. I think that was actually the first video I did for the channel. January of last year, 2022. So we've done a lot of Nik music. I've been saving some of the real good ones for last. I just did Don Quixote. Now we're going to do Dancing Girls. So I've been holding some of the good stuff for the end here as we approach the thin end of the wedge of the Nik catalog. So we'll do this all on acoustic. Shout out to Jonas Wolf for his analysis of this song. That was very interesting and helpful. And yeah, let's check it out. Here we go. That's a G. But we're not in G, we're in C. Listen. Whoops. That riff is straight C major. All tabbed out below, chord chart, everything you need. Hit that link below. So it's straight up C major. There's only one C in that little riff, but it ends on the 5 of G, but nevertheless we're in C here. All right. So check the tab for that. Now listen real quick before the verse. Listen to this sneaky little E flat that he throws in here. You hear that? Without me playing on top of it. Right there. You hear that? Very nice. I've always noticed that even when I was a kid. I had this record when it came out. And what that's doing is it's helping us get to C minor. So we're going from major to minor here. So the verse will start in C minor, but it will end in C major. Check this out. I mishit one of the chords there, but we'll have to deal with it. So the chords, very simple. Cold and lonely and tired and bored, just like the day before. C minor 7 over G, F minor over C, E flat, D flat, C. So a couple of things to talk about here then. The first is that we have listen to the melody. Cold and lonely and tired and bored, just like the day before. So we're ending on a major. It ends on a C rather than C minor. So I talked about this in the original video I did. That's called a Picardy third, when you have a major third at the end of a passage that's minor. The other interesting thing in that progression is that there's an F major in there, which is outside the key of C natural minor. So that alludes to C Dorian by having the raised 4th degree. So in the melody you get cold and lonely and tired. That's an A instead of an A flat, which is what is in C natural minor. So in C Dorian you get that raised 6th degree. So that A is the 3rd of F, which is where that F comes from. Then you have the F minor over C, which you just play like an F minor, but you don't play the root. So C becomes the root there, okay? Now the E flat chord, I play there. That's maybe an unusual voicing to C, but it's really the same as that. Listen. So it's just easier to get to there, but you gotta be careful. It's not a very full sounding inversion, so you could go cold and lonely and tired and bored, just like the day before. You could do that, right? But I just do it here because I'm lazy. Like the day before. So B flat to C at the end. All right. The second time through, you get the same, almost the same. Missing out on life's rewards of that. A flat, you can be D flat, sure. So there, what we're doing is we're setting up a key change here, which is it's friggin' bizarre. We're changing keys basically to D flat major or C sharp major, or its relative minor, B flat minor. And the way he does that is by playing a major 6 chord. So, and Jonas talks about this in his video too. You play that A flat major chord, and then that is the 5 of D flat. Okay, so A flat major is the 5 of D flat, which is a nice way to move to that new key here. So that's the whole outline of those verse chords. Okay, so we're now in a new key as we approach the beginning of this chorus here. So let's scoot back and we'll talk about, or we'll just play through the chorus. Let's scoot back and do that. Can be sure to bring on the dancing girls. Take off the cold night and Saturday. Bring on the dancing girls. Take off the twilight and the sky so gray. Okay, so the chorus, as we said, begins with that modulation to the new key, which you could call D flat major or B flat minor. So after that D flat major, we have a B flat minor. Bring on the dancing girls. And then we move to E flat minor. Cold night and sad day. Bring on the dancing. So those chords then, B flat minor, E flat minor, and then here's a weird one that you may not have seen before. I did this. This is also in the Wide Boy video, this exact chord, the acoustic version and in the album version. It's a D flat over F. Okay, so it's just a C shape, but you're moving it up one fret and then barring there. So you have that F there over that D flat major chord. So it's actually a pretty simple shift from B flat, E flat minor. You just keep those fingers there, bring that down, and then pop that pinky on the D flat. Then you have an F, or is that an F sharp or a G flat? G flat, I would guess. Yeah, G flat to an A flat sus4. Now that I'm playing as a modified sus4 chord. So the sus4 chords are hard to make. I have really, really big hands. I can't make a proper bar chord into a sus4 chord, which would mean you would simply take, instead of your middle finger being there, it would need to be there. So you'd have to do this. Yeah, I can't really do it. So what I do is I mute the octave note with this. It looks like a 7 sus4, which is what that is, but I mute it so you don't get that that 7th ringing out in there. I'll put a chord shape on the screen for you. You gotta be careful with it though. Right? You don't want that string ringing out. So altogether you get that you can be sure. So bring on the dancing girls and take off the cold night and sad day. Bring on the, and then B flat, and take off the twilight and sky so gray. And they dance for him inside his head. So there we go back to the B flat, but then instead of walking up cold night and sad day, he moves that up a minor third into a progression that is leading us towards a different key, but we don't ever get there. So we get an F sharp minor, twilight, that's an E over G sharp. Talked about this chord 10 million times on the channel. Nick uses it all the time. It's just an E5 chord on the bottom there. You can see the fingering, and then you throw that middle finger on that G sharp. Twilight release us for. And they dance for him. That's an A5. Dance for him inside his head. And then back to the C, but it's a G in the bass there, so C over G. All right, let's listen to that ending again here. Listen to the A. Then we go to the C over G. C over G. You hear that? Same riff. All right, so that's very, very cool. There is one other thing I want to mention. If we go back a bit here, this little lick here, right there. I want to show you that. One more time. So that's, so it's bring on the dancing girls. It's over B flat minor. So it's B flat, C, and D flat. There's a little tag at the end, but nah. All right, very, very cool. So it's just all over the place in terms of keys, chords, and whatever. And it's just friggin' awesome. So let's, second verse, same as the first. It's all the same, just a little bit more instrumentation, more synth stuff. And then, so we get another, so A, and back to that C over G. Okay, and then we have a solo here, the chords. Oops. Really highlighting the C note there. Okay, so that little interlude, it's just, you can really hear the note C popping out in there. So I'm going to play the chords over the solo, then I'm going to show you the solo, because, well, do I need to play the chords for the solo? The solo chords are the same as the verse, okay? Exactly the same as the verse. So I'm going to show you the solo that he plays over this. Let's check that out. So it's, again, over the verse, so it's all following those chord changes. C, G, C, B flat, C, C, G, G, C, B flat, A, C, A flat, C, G, F, D, E. So we have that Picardy third. It's the end of the first passage of the verse. Second time. So the last three notes just move up half a step, because that puts us over the A flat and the D flat, right? So it's all tabbed out for you below, just the coolest. Super awesome. And we come out of that into a chorus. Now listen close. Listen real close. Now you hear that? He is the sneakiest mofo in the world. Right there. You know what he just did? Listen one more time. Huh? listen. Do you know what he did there? Out of that, dance for him inside his head. He moved up the whole song half a step. Just incredible. So he takes us into D flat, or it's actually C sharp minor that he goes to there. So he moves the whole thing up. 40 years people have been listening to this song, and they never noticed that the last 1 minute is all a semitone higher, right? Just friggin' unbelievable. So let's play a little bit of that. Here we go. Hold on. Right here. So those are the same. The new bits here. Okay, so we get the new key, C sharp minor. Bring on cold night and sad day. Bring on the dancing girls. Take off the twilight and sky so gray. So again, he takes the first part of the chorus, because now we're in C sharp minor, right? Which is the same as E major. So you have C sharp minor, F sharp minor, E over G, A, and D sus4. So that's all perfectly in key with E major, C sharp minor. But then the second time, as he did in the previous verse, the second part of the chorus goes up a minor third. Twilight and sky so gray. And those are the oldest chords in the book. A minor, G over B, C, and D sus4. Right? So we have a move there, basically to E, taking us to E minor. But we don't ever get there, right? It's the same as the previous change where we're moving up to C sharp minor. We never get there, right? So we never get to E minor, but and then it just repeats from there. But if you listen, there's another couple little sneaky bits in here. That same riff, right? As we saw before. Now it's, and you can really hear, right? So we're a minor third higher, right, on that intro to that. So you can see it's C sharp minor, right? Dancing girls. Right, so just, he's so good, man. Are you kidding me? He's just an alien. So here we go, listen to the rest. It just repeats. Take out the girls that dance his blues away. Dancing girls. Take off the twilight and sad day. Bring on the dancing girls. Take out the twilight and sky so gray. It just goes on to the fade. So that's the album version of Dancing Girls. I have been waiting so long to do this. I'm thrilled to bits. I finally got it done. I hope you liked it. And yeah, a great one. So thank you all.